Let's talk about change. No, don't run away. I know it's a really, really big word. When we think about change, we think about maybe handing our power over. We think about maybe having to have people's influence enforced on us and, things happening when we're not ready. But I think it's really important to remember that change is another word for growth. Who doesn't want to grow, right? I've had a lot of change in my life. Who hasn't? But, a couple of years ago, in 1 year, I moved from Leeds to Brighton. I got married and I set up my own business all within 12 months. Now, I know I went looking for that change, but it tested me a lot. What did I learn during that period? Well, there's definitely a few keys to making change not necessarily feel gentle and easy, but certainly manageable and like you're empowered as part of it, as opposed to just being taken along by the torrent. For me, when it comes to change happening, it's really important to check in with yourself. Literally, when you wake up in the morning, hand on your heart, close your eyes and ask yourself, are you okay? What can I do to make you feel okay today? And really check in with yourself in that really simple way can make all the difference. Other things that make change more manageable is looking at where you can ask for help. What really makes us go into overwhelm is when we feel like we've given all our power away and we're not in control of how we use our time. And I have this golden saying, which is if you control your time, you control your life. So if there's a lot of things happening, whether it's in your relationships, in your work, both, it's really important to allow yourself to give yourself permission to lean on the people that can and want to help you. Maybe it's calling your best mate in Australia at 6 a.m. because you need to hear her voice and just tune in with her and get a little bit of advice. Or maybe it's asking your boss that you can leave early on Friday afternoon just to give you a little bit of headway when it comes to moving house. Whatever it is, we can build in space by just asking the question and asking in our own way with kindness and respect for a bit of help. Another thing I found makes change really feel like it's growth rising up to meet you is, and it's a bit spooky, ask for signs. When I was making big decisions about my life, about getting married, moving across the country to basically where my next stop is France, right through to kind of changing my business, I decided to kind of like ask the universe for signs that I was doing the right thing. Send me signs and send me reminders that I am on my own track and that this change is going to be right for me. And they will crop up all the time, whether I was hearing a song playing, whether I was seeing, a symbol that I'd agreed with the universe I was going to be looking at. That really, really helped things for me. But it's just applying these small elements of awareness to every day, as opposed to looking at it like a massive, massive boulder in front of you, that can make change feel like it's more manageable for you, and you can swap change for growth. I once saw on kind of like, where I get all my best information, Pinterest, I once saw a graphic on there that said, if you're not growing, you're dying. And although that sounds pretty dramatic, if we look into that, it is true. Change is the only constant. So why do we resist it so much? Well, that's another question for each of us as individuals, because ultimately what life wants to give us is always on the other side of change. We're constantly being given invitations to grow. And yes, sometimes they can actually feel pretty traumatic. But the lesson that we get from those shows us how resourceful we are and how we can roll with life no matter how unpredictable it is. So whether you feel like change is happening to you or you're trying to go after it, let's make sure we're swapping those kind of negative, scary feelings of anticipation for a positive, inviting feeling of inviting growth into our lives for our ultimate benefit. So if you are experiencing change right now or you think some is on the way, meet me in the comments. Let's have a conversation about how you can better support yourself. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for even more insight about how you can live your best comparison-free life. Shut up, Al. Al, can you not yawn, babe? I'm thinking you've got camera here. It's like the Cookie Monster's dying.